Welcome. I'm Dee, and this is the Unguided Life where I am taking it one day at a time. We guys along for the journey to hold me accountable as I budget my way through life. Okay, we got paid, so we need to tell our money what to do before it tells us what to do. Okay, so let me go ahead and get the things that I need. I think I just need those two because everything else is pretty much filled out. And so let me tell y'all, it has been a very eventful last few days. So first and foremost, this income breakdown actually starts on 12/31. That is when I receive my check from my employer and my stipend. So this pay period actually goes from 12/31 to 1/13. Okay, so let me tell you about the income. First and foremost, the total that hit my bank account for my employer and the stipend was $1,941. I'm going to pull $6 from savings for my property taxes, and there is $9 for rollover. The bonus, as we stated when we did our budget, a monthly budget setup, was $36. So let's just add that together. Okay, so $1,992. And so initially what was going to happen is, let's go back. First of all, I broke my smartwatch, and it was a gift, and this person didn't put insurance on it. So going forward, I'm going to advise people who buy me stuff, don't buy me things that you don't think that needs replacement. Okay. It doesn't sound harsh, y'all. But the reason why I say this is because when I buy people things and it asks me if I would like a plan, a protection plan, I always get it, to be quite honest, especially if it's a gift, because I don't know the usage or how people use things in their home. I know when I have things, I'm going to use it until the wheels fall off. So I prefer a protection plan because of how I'm using it. Well, they didn't have one, so now I am in the hunt for a new one because I use that when I do mostly working out. And I like it for the heart rate portion because I don't like touching the little things on the treadmill. And then they have another thing at the gym that I can use, but I don't like touching it. The less I have to touch things, the better, okay? So I'm on hunt for that. Next thing is, I was planning to spend my New Year's away. And unfortunately, the person called me on December 30th and let me, like an hour before I was going to get on the road, to let me know that they had came in contact with someone that was positive. So I made the conscious decision not to take the advice of someone saying, well, they were trying to do a timeline situation. And I'm like, Hood MD, please don't do that. Like, you don't know. No one knows. This is the unknown. As much information as out there, it's still unknown. So Hood MD was trying to do a timeline and say, well, if they were in contact with this person this day and it's been this many days and they had no symptoms, that you should be good. I'm glad I did not, because that person I was going to see did test positive. Regardless of how many days that Hood MD decided to try to convince me to get on the road, it's like, whatever. So that I end up having to change all my plans, and I kind of like bummed because this would have been 2021 is the first year that I didn't go see Nissan Stadium. And so it's kind of bummed. And then I thought to myself, it's because 2021, though I was out there doing things and traveling, I was traveling for others and not myself. So in 2022, it's a little bit different. No, I'm not going there. This is what I want to do. If you want me to share time with you, do what I want to do. Okay. Again, does that sound rude? Oh, I don't care. But that's how I'm feeling. So that changed all my plans. It changed everything I needed to do because I didn't have anything in my refrigerator. So I had to go I had to go grocery shopping, not only for New Year's Day, but also to eat for the week. So let me go ahead and put that down. I'm not going to send anything to savings. I can continue to talk to you guys while I'm filling this out because I kind of know this off the rip. So yeah, it's kind of bummed, but it is what it is. And there's no changes to these, so that's why I can go in and that's funky and update them right here without no problem. And so that was the first thing. And then I was kind of like telling someone that it may was like a semi blessing in disguise, that I decided to, not go, but not because, what happened with the other person, because I definitely don't wish that on anyone. But what turned out to be the blessing in disguise is if I had actually decided to go, and I would have came back today. And when the person came in Thursday and told me that what was going on, I decided to give back my day for today because I wasn't traveling. And so today would have been a work day. I got up this morning and there was no power. It was pitch black outside. It was raining heavy. The wind was like mad loud. It was like literally rattling the windows. And I'm like, OMG. If I had decided to go, I would have been coming back through this mess. And where I had to go through the mountains of North Carolina. And they were hit with a snowstorm. So imagine me getting on the road and getting hit with a snowstorm. Oh my goodness. Oh my. And then sometimes what happens is the routes change me and I go through like this remote area and you don't see nobody but you and the trucker. And it's like, is anybody coming on the other side? It's like, I never see any cars passing us. It'd be just me and this trucker. We always turn at the same exact spot, and we like up until it's time to get to civilization. That's when I start seeing cars pass. Prior to that, we can go for an hour or so. I never see anything passing. Weird. So I have been accustomed to like tell my GPS, do not take me that way, because each time it took me that way, it rained. And I'm like, OMG, this is not how I'm gonna be taken out. Okay. So so all that being said, it was a blessing in disguise that I didn't get caught up in that. But of course I didn't have any power. And then when I told my manager, that's what I was for, my manager was off, so I had to tell the other manager. And then they were like, giving an hour, and I'm like, what are we giving an hour for? I'm like, there's no power and it's a storm, but okay, if you want to give me an hour, go ahead. So I gave an hour, and then I put in some time for the remainder of the day because I'm like, I'm not gonna think about this. I'm gonna give Papa his $100, and I'm gonna send 50 to Savannah and nothing to Sandlot. So yeah, so yeah, I was like, okay, give it an hour, put the time in, and then I went to sleep because there's nothing for me to do. When I woke in, everything was back up, and so I decided to tell them and only put in for like 4 hours and then get back, like do some work. And so that's what I did. We are going to start breaking down our envelope system. We're going to get back into the habit of that. So I'm going to send $150 to food. For gas, it's going to be $60. I did talk about changing this, but I decided not to. And the reason is, I don't see myself going into the office anytime soon. So there's no need to pad this area when I don't have to. Also, I haven't been really in the mood to do any of the side gigs I've been doing. Yeah, I haven't. I think because I'm trying to focus on health, it's just kind of like trying to figure out where I want to put this or where it needs to go. I found other side hustles to do where it doesn't require me to leave the home. I haven't explored it as much, but we will see. I'll give you a checkup at the end of the month. Household, I'm not going to send anything to that, and then 30 to personal, so that's 240. And yeah, so this is basically how I break down my income when I receive it into these categories. Very basic. It's no bells and whistles. I have multiple categories, and at one point I didn't even want to put things in like a specific category, and I loved it. But I have to be very strategic with my money, especially in these areas here, because I know I want to pay extra to my car loan, and the only way to do that is to ensure that there's no upward movement in these categories that's not necessary. So let's go ahead and see what we have remaining after each category. And then I did receive a call from Papa. The school decided to push back their return date. So Papa has been spending his break with his dad. And so he let me know that, oh, speaking of that, oh crap. See, Papa called me when I was half asleep. And I just realized he said something like he'd get the ticket for a certain date. And I'm like, he'd get the ticket? That's what just, you know, the D in my head just said, did he say he was gonna get that ticket? I'm finna scratch that. So now I gotta go look at his account. Now I gotta figure out, make sure his dad is paying for all of this, because now I'm looped into ensuring that he gets back to school. So yeah, I thought co-parenting ends when the child turns an adult, but I guess like Papa say, he ain't there yet. He a young man. He ain't a man or grown man. I don't know, Papa. Buddy, we gotta talk. I gotta figure this out. That dawned on me. I gotta hurry up with this, because I don't hurry up with this and get that done, it's gonna be tragic. So we have remaining $218. We know $9 of that is in our rollover from our unbudgeted checking account. And I often call my checking accounts based on their purpose. So when I say that, there's no special unbudgeted checking account. It's just a checking account that simply money is transferred to it that doesn't have a specific purpose in my actual budget. So $9 was there. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add an additional $9 by just taking that 18 and throw it there. And that's going to leave with $200 that I want to put towards debt. And one thing, I don't know if it's going to be a common amount each time I do my breakdown. I know that based on the changes to the student loans, that I don't have to pay and start paying into May, but I feel like I need to put something in place to ensure that it's not a huge transition in May when we do that. So yeah, I do have to come up with a plan. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to highlight areas like that: Netflix, life insurance, and storage and miscellaneous. These items actually are on my credit card, and then when they clear my credit card, I have a credit card checking account, again a regular checking account, that any expenses that go on my credit card, that amount comes from my main account, and it sits in this particular account. So when I go to pay the bill, I know that this money is there to cover it. It makes it easier for me. And because I don't do my tracking expenses like every week, though I do watch Tasha do it, and I actually do it, but not on camera. You never see exactly what I'm doing, like when I'm transferring this money, and then when I'm going in and making those payments. I try to make a payment once a week based on when these items actually clear the checking account. So that's why I went ahead and highlight them, because to remind myself to make sure I move that money, because I haven't really done a lot of movement yet, even though I did do a preliminary budget. So usually what happens is those numbers from my expenses in my envelope system categories are transferred here and broken down by week. Week 1 goes from December 31st to January 6th. Week 2 is January 7th through January 13th. Week 3 is January 14th through January 20th. And week 4 is January 21st to 27th. Then the amounts again from my envelope system is transferred to the spending record. This is for my envelope system. And as you can see, I just put deposits. And because I'm cashless, because I put everything on a card, I still need to keep up what's remaining in this amount that needs to be carried over from week to week, as well as to month to month. So that's why I went ahead and listed them here. And then when I spend, I just put the amounts there and subtract. This is how I keep up. What I've been trying to do is not print up as many of these sheets. So printing one and making sure that one area like this is just for the month of January, and then I'll take this same sheet and fill this out for February. That's always my hopes, and depending on the length of the monthly budget, determine if I'm able to do that. Like in November, because I made that a magic month, I actually had to create a second sheet for December. So yeah, then this is our expense tracker. We just seen this. The rollover was from December was $9, and then I added 9 to get that 18. Then we have our sinking funds. These are the 3 categories that I actually monitor here on camera. The one that's missing is Papa. I don't monitor that. I let y'all know when it's coming out of my monthly budget, but I don't let you know what's actually sitting in this particular account. So in my Me, Myself, and I, which is my self-care account, there's nothing there. So of course there's nothing that I added nor I can spend. For Savannah, we ended the year at $360.85. I did add $50 and it was interest of $11. Then for the Sandlot, we ended December at $71.52. I did earn interest of 2 cents. So that in turn, also the amount that I paid to my property tax was actually $5.62. So as you can see, I put the actual with the spending, and then when I do my budget, my monthly budget, and I do my income breakdown, I use whole numbers, and I need to know the exact amount in these accounts. So I can't put whole numbers here and then try to figure out what's actually in there. It's best that I do it this way for my sanity. So this is my income breakdown. It was a little chatty. Yeah, I'm gonna get to what popped in my head in just a second ago, just to make sure everything is good and I don't have to be the crazy mama. But you know, it is what it is. So if you have any questions, definitely leave them down below. And in the meantime, in between time, peace out.